Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amber Franklin, and I'd like to start by wishing you a happy Sunday. I'm so glad we get to be together and share in this moment. The theme for this month is mystery, the great unknown. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm the queen of not knowing stuff. You would be astonished by how much I've yet to figure out. In fact, there are probably only 3 things I know to be absolutely true. Number 1, not everyone you love will stay. Number 2, nothing bad lasts forever. And number 3, together is as good a place to be as any, depending upon the company, of course. Other than that, my knowledge of the world is always shifting and twisting like some strange contortionist. The analogy that comes to mind is a stone sitting in a river, water rushing past, causing the stone to stumble and tumble about. These past 4 years have been nothing short of a struggle. At the beginning of my freshman year, I had a brain hemorrhage in my left parietal lobe, which is just a fancy way of saying things got a lot harder. I couldn't brush my own teeth or comb my own hair. All of a sudden, everything was different. My reality changed. And just between you and me, I was really mad. I was angry because I had to be worried about overexerting myself. I had to limit myself to maybe 2 or 3 hour visits because I was exhausted all the time. It was unfair. But that's the other true thing about life. It's frequently unfair. All my resentment over the things I couldn't do made me even sicker. So I made a list of things I could do. Things I wanted to do that would bring me joy. I would play with my dog. I would go to the beach. I would make pancakes. Small victories. I've learned that you don't have to wait for your next big adventure, like going on vacation or moving to a new house or graduation. It's important to enjoy those big moments when they come, but life's small adventures, life's little mysteries, they're just as important. They're just as good.
When I thought about this month's theme of mystery, the first thing that came to my mind was a song I had learned. The song is from the Blue Singing the Journey hymnal, and it's titled, "Where Do We Come From?" It's sung as a round, and the lyrics are simple. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. This song was especially in my mind after the first Sunday of this month, when the service was all about the mystery of music. 4 members of our congregation spoke about their favorite hymns and gave insight as to why those were their favorites. Each story was unique and heartwarming. I left the service wondering what hymns are my favorite and why are they my favorites. In my list of favorites, there are classics, of course, such as Spirit of Life and Come, Come, Whoever You Are. There are also some that remind me of camp and sometimes make me want to cry, Blue Boat Home and Circle Game. But some songs are really special and bring up very specific memories. One of those special songs is another one from Singing the Journey, titled Meditation on Breathing. It goes, when I breathe in peace. when I breathe out love. And it has simple harmony parts too. This song is special to me because it's the song we sing at Hug Worship at senior high camp. I have attended 8 youth camps at Devenville Pines, and every single one has been a memorable and valuable experience. At every senior high camp, we have a Hug Worship on the second to last day. We rotate through 3 groups. You are either singing, hugging, or being hugged. And the group of people receiving hugs has the option to cross their arms over their chest and just be in the moment rather than receiving a hug. The receiving group are invited to close their eyes, and it's a very emotional experience for everyone. I often leave wiping tears from my eyes. Hug Worship is a unique culminating event of camp, as we are preparing to leave our friends behind while keeping the community in our hearts. Another special song I learned was when I was working as a counselor at elementary camp. The dean of the camp, Mira Makowitz, led the song at the campfire. I don't remember the title or who wrote it, but it was a round with 4 parts. Your love is enough, you are everything, and everything's a part of you, and everything's a part of you, and everything's a part of you and me. Your love will light up a candle, your love will light up the world. Only love, only love, only love. I will never forget sitting around the campfire with the other counselors who were some of my best friends and all of the young campers. That summer was a difficult time for me and some of the other counselors too. I was unable to attend both senior high camps that year, winter and summer, and it really brought me down. But being a counselor made me remember why I loved camp so much. This song was uplifting, and it really encompassed what it feels like to be at camp. You're valued as a human being, and you are seen for who you are. You are treated with respect. The first song I mentioned, Where Do We Come From? I learned from one of my favorite adult advisors, Emalinda, at a youth con in Santa Monica. It was towards the end of my sophomore year, but I remember it like it was yesterday. That weekend, I worked on kitchen staff, and we made pancakes on Saturday morning. We went to a beach cleanup, and I had tons of fun with some of my friends from San Diego, who I rarely got to see. After filling buckets with trash, we swam and put flowers in our hair and took really cute photos. We went back to the church that night, and we had a small worship service where Emalinda led us in singing the song as a round. For days after, I had the tune in my head and continued thinking of the lyrics. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Throughout my time in high school, I've thought of this song and its meaning. I've had some big ups and downs in high school. My friends and I have been through a lot with big health issues, as Amber talked about, on all of that on top of regular teenage struggles. But through that, I've had an amazing spiritual community to fall back on, not only here at Tapestry with the youth group, but in the greater Pacific Southwest District at camps, cons, and other youth events. In my teenage years, I've been faced by plenty of riddles and plenty of mysteries. But being a UU has taught me to value the mystery that is life. I've been given the opportunity to share my mysteries and be supported by my spiritual community, and I could not be more grateful. Thank you.
There has been much mystery in my life this year. Last August, I had little idea where I would attend college. I love art, and I considered pursuing it, but I also enjoyed academics. I was torn between art school and conventional college, the former offering stronger art training and the latter having more in-depth liberal arts. In September, my mom and I met with the visual arts director at my school, Orange County School of the Arts, to discuss the steps I needed to take to prepare for college. The director asked me whether art was my intended focus for college or something else. Being more familiar with art school than with regular college, and not knowing what else I would do, I said art. For the following months, I prepared my portfolio and practiced art in and outside of school. Fortunately, I had the luxury of taking art classes at art and design colleges I considered attending. I met with admissions representatives to receive feedback about my art. At the same time, I maintained my grades and prepared the tedious applications for universities and liberal arts colleges. I submitted my final portfolio in February. My parents were supportive in every step of the process. I would also like to give a special thanks to my essay tutor, David Deering. Where are you, David? Is he here today? Hey. Whose guidance made enormous difference in my college essays and in my skills as a writer. A few weeks later, the acceptance letters began to arrive. I was thrilled to learn that I was accepted to Otis College of Art and Design and Laguna College of Art and Design, both with scholarships. Then I received my acceptance letter from Scripps College, a member of the Claremont Colleges. My art director recommended it as a liberal arts alternative with a respected art program, but my focus on art school had put Scripps low on my list for those few months. I didn't even bother to tell my parents that I was accepted until my mom asked me weeks later. Despite how happy I was to have been accepted to the art schools, I realized something about myself that I had ignored for several months. I have many different interests. Additionally, as much as I enjoy art, I haven't spent much individual time on it besides what I had done for portfolio preparation. At art school, I would be doing art all day, every day, which is not what I truly want. I decided I would be better suited at a liberal arts college or university where I could pursue all my interests in one way or another. By the time I had heard from all the colleges to which I applied, my family and I had narrowed down the list to a limited but difficult set of choices, one of which included Scripps College. I felt overwhelmed with all the unknowns. Which institution would I finally attend? What would my major be, and what classes would I have to take to fulfill it? How would that shape my future career? What would my college debt look like? What would a day in the life at the school look like? This lack of certainty was so acute that my hair began to fall out. Finally, after visiting classes at Scripps College and staying overnight, I decided I would go there. Every new thing I learned about the school made me love it more. I was pleasantly surprised to see Abby on campus that same day, and even more so to learn that she would be attending Scripps as well. This was the institution that only a few months earlier I thought I would least likely attend. I think I learned an important lesson from it. It's okay not to know. Things change. People have been telling me that forever, but I did not really understand that until now. I recognize that there is still much mystery in my future, and I am embracing that. Thank you.
As humans, I find that one of our greatest fears is the unknown. The funny part about it, though, is that we have to face it every day, as we never know what could happen at any minute. This fear heightens when entering a new chapter in life. As exciting as that can be, there is also this hesitation that happens when questions like, what if this isn't what I want it to be? Or what if people find out I'm not good enough to be here? Start to come up. These are questions I have found to be universal, and that even the people we consider to be incredibly successful ask themselves, because they are just as human as anyone else. I have also found, though, that there are ways of finding reassurance. These can include listening to a song that lets you know you are not alone in this feeling, or watching a movie that has a happy ending, filling you with hope of the future. Or even simply just a friend giving you a hug and telling you that everything is going to be okay. I found reassurance in all of these forms, but also in one unexpected way, a dream. The important part of this dream started when I was living in this house that looked like the house I had lived in as a child, but all the walls had turned to this dark green mold and moss color. This definitely freaked me out, but not too much, only because the part I most focused on was this forbidden door that my parents had told me not to open because there was a beast inside. One time, it was opened to show me that there was a beast inside and prove that I should not want to go in. When opened, there was a bunch of hay bales, which I don't know where that came from, and they were being moved by something that was grunting with a scary beast-like sound. So I closed the door and decided that it would be too scary to go in. Later, though, I felt this compulsion that led me to entering. This time, instead of turning away from the door scared, I pushed aside the hay bales and found that there was this wonderful light that hit my face, and I realized that the grunting I had been so afraid of was only a nice worker moving the hay bales. This felt pivotal because it was a moment that I realized I had gone into the place I had so feared and that it was actually not scary at all. And even better than that is that it was beautiful and bright and exciting. When I was able to look around for a little while, I really realized that there was this little tram for an amusement park that I was in, which if you don't know, I love amusement parks. And even better than that is that I was sitting next to Frank Sinatra. So, pretty cool too. I remember that tram was in the beginning was a little ride that was similar to a Universal Studios 3D ride. And it was being tossed by a dinosaur a couple of times, which may sound scary, but I actually found it to be more thrilling and exciting. After that, I just walked around the amusement park with Frank Sinatra again, and that was really cool. So, yeah. And we talked, and I just looked around and saw all the flowers on the pretty buildings around me, and it just felt really good. After the amusement park, I was walking back to the car feeling fulfilled, but also ready to take on the next adventure that would await me once I got in the car. Right before I entered the car, I woke up. This was the type of dream that you can still feel even after waking up, because you know that it really means something. After recalling the dream, I quickly realized that it had been a reassurance my mind was giving me, letting me know that I can conquer my fears and walk through that moss-covered door into a different chapter of my life, and that I will be okay, but even more than that, I will enjoy it.